then we get into the internet, and this is a little bit kind of helping with interview preparation, but diving in a little earlier. This tends to be a pretty common question that comes up on PM interviews on how the internet actually works, and I just want to talk a little bit more about that. So you can understand a little bit more about the server side of the interaction that happens. So the internet is effectively a computer-to-computer network. So it's a server-to-server communication that happens. Your computer, your laptop, your desktop acts as a client. You access data, which is why you're a client, from the website that is hosted by a server, and that is providing you with data. So that ends up being the main server. Each server has a unique internet protocol or IP address. And the website address, for example, google.com, facebook.com, they are effectively user-friendly display name for the IP address. So when you type in google.com or facebook.com, your laptop is taking the facebook.com, changing that to an IP address, and trying to establish connection with that IP address. Once the connection has been established, that's when data is transferred back and forth. And when I say data in this context, it means pretty much anything and everything. Text, images, videos, really anything around that. That is being transferred as your laptop asks for something from the server responds back with the data that you asked for. And all of that is done in small pieces, which is called small packets. So in a nutshell, there is that client-server interaction that we spoke about earlier. Data is always a large component of it. At this level, at the internet level, we don't deal with REST APIs for data transfer, but you're effectively doing something very similar. There's many reasons around why that's not done over here, because it's at such a core infrastructure level that needs to work a lot faster than what REST APIs work at. But you're effectively moving data back and forth in small chunks. And then your client, your laptop, you are rendering that data appropriately as the server is sending it. So very similar to how the Facebook newsfeed works between the client and server, that is exactly how the internet also works between a client and a server. Any questions? Have you guys come across this question at all during interviews or preparation? And this is a question that comes up during interviews because the interviewer wants to know that you just, at once again, basic level, understand technology. Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure I throw this example in. Pretty much most of computing works like this from a client-server or server-to-server relationship. And the client asks for information, the server provides information, the client renders information. And that's computing in a nutshell.